Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video lecture, we are going to solve the next 10 questions from ILS chapter Keith Williams Radio Navigation book. For your kind information, I've already answered the first 100 questions from this particular chapter, this particular book, and uploaded those video lectures to my channel. So do watch them if you haven't yet. I have also solved ILS questions from Oxford Radio Navigation book. So do watch that as well. Let's begin with today's new questions. Question number 101. 108.35 megahertz frequency belongs to what equipment? Okay, now this frequency belongs to ILS localizer. Since ILS localizer works in the frequency band of VHF starting from 108 megahertz to 112 megahertz. All frequencies falling in this frequency band which have odd decimals will belong to ILS localizer. All frequencies falling in this frequency band with even decimals will belong to VOR. Okay, remember this. So point 3 is odd, therefore it belongs to the localizer. 102. Outer marker beacon transmits at what? So all marker beacons transmit at a fixed frequency of 75 megahertz, right? And this frequency is differently modulated for three different marker beacons. So outer marker it is modulated at 400 hertz, middle marker it is modulated at 1300 hertz, and inner marker it is modulated at 3000 hertz. In this particular question, they have asked us about transmission frequency. So the transmission frequency is the same for all three marker beacons, 75 megahertz. Okay. Next, the audio frequency modulation of the outer marker shall be keyed as follows. So the outer marker is identified by 2 dashes per second. Middle marker is identified by alternate dots and dashes 3 per second. So 3 dots, 3 dashes, 3 dots, 3 dashes like that. Inner marker is transmitted or identified by a series of 6 dots per second. Okay. So the audio frequency modulation of the outer marker shall be keyed as follows. For outer marker it is 2 dashes per second continuously. Option A. The audio frequency modulation of the inner marker shall be keyed as follows. For inner marker. So it is 6 dots per second. So option alpha. Next question. The localizer transmits in the VHF band between 108 megahertz से लेके 112 megahertz odd decimals. Okay. Next, the transmission of the glidescope beacon is characterized by what? UHF frequency with a minimum range of 10 miles, 300 to 3000 hertz amplitude modulation for the ATIS, UHF carrier frequency with possible voice identification, VHF frequency modulated with a 90 Hz amplitude modulation and 150 Hz amplitude modulation navigation signal. So here the glide slope horizontal range is 10 nautical miles. Remember, maximum range is 10 miles, 8 degree either side of the center line. So the correct answer here is option alpha. Glide slope transmitter operates in the UHF band 328 MHz से लेके 335 and the range is 10 nautical miles. Classify the marker from lower aural frequency to higher. So we have to classify these marker beacons in an ascending order. So the outer marker has lowest pitch, the middle marker medium pitch, and the inner marker has a high pitch tone, the highest of them. So the correct answer here is ascending order. So outer marker, middle marker, and then inner marker. So 3, 2, 1 option alpha. Locators. Now what are locators? Locators are compass locators. NDB stations which replace the outer marker. These compass locators will help you navigate your aircraft inbound, that is towards the airport, towards the localizer codes. Okay. Now these locators are low power NDB stations and they have a short range of 10 to 25 nautical miles. So option 4 is right. low powered NDBs used for airfield runway approach. So statements second, 2 and 4 are right. So the correct option is delta. Next. Concerning the localizer principle of operation, the difference in depth of modulation. Okay. So when you are right on the center line of this extended center line of this runway, the difference in depth modulation will be equal to 0. You will receive both the signals equally. When you deviate away from the center line, either to your left hand side or right hand side, the difference in depth modulation will increase. Okay. So you will receive, if you deviate to the left hand side, you will receive more of 90 hertz signal. If you deviate to the right hand side, you will receive more of 150 hertz signal. Okay. So there won't be balance between the two signals if you deviate away from the center line of the runway. So the difference in depth modulation decreases with respect to the angular displacement from the center line. That is wrong. As you get displaced away from the center line, okay, angularly 1 degree from away from the center line, 1.5 degrees away, whatever that number is, the difference in depth modulation will also increase along with it, will also increase linearly. So it won't decrease, it will increase. Second, increases with right displacement from the center line. Yes, if you deviate to the right of the center line, as you continue your deviation, the displacement or the difference in depth modulation will increase. Decreases with left displacement? No. Just like right displacement, the difference in depth modulation will also increase as you deviate to the left of the center line. Increases linearly with displacement? Yes, it's linear. Remember the word linearly. So statement 4 is also right. The correct combination is statements 2 and 4 option alpha. What is the function of frequency modulated immune filter in an ILS localizer? Now you must remember that this frequency modulated immune filter is what protects the ILS localizer frequencies from interference happening from FM radio stations. Now these FM radio stations have their main carrier frequencies modulated by frequency. That means the main carrier frequency is frequency modulated. In the form of these different frequencies or variations in frequencies, uh, they superimpose information on this frequency modulated radio channel. Okay, so this radio channel will have a main transmission frequency, just like marker beacons to the main 75 megahertz, and that 75 megahertz frequency is further amplitude modulated, right? Similarly, in case of radio station, the frequency, the main carrier frequency will be frequency modulated. It will be frequency modulated. Okay, when you frequency modulate a particular frequency, you add different frequencies. There will be variations in frequencies added to this main carrier frequency, and when you add different frequencies to the main carrier frequency, these variations in frequencies uh, act like a postman delivering the specific information that we want to deliver with the help of that carrier frequency. Okay, now it may happen when FM radio stations frequencies are very close to or very near to the frequencies of ILS localizer. These variations in frequencies of FM radio stations can interfere with your ILS localizer function. Okay, so to prevent that interference from happening, we have frequency modulated immune filters that help us achieve this objective. So the correct answer here will be to make the ILS localizer receiver less susceptible to interference from Earth reflected localizer signals. No. To make both ILS localizer and glide slope less susceptible to interference from Earth reflected localizer signals. No. To make both ILS and glide slope less susceptible to interference from commercial FM stations. To make ILS localizer receiver less susceptible to interference from FM stations. So correct answer is option delta. This FM immune filter only protects the ILS localizer equipment. It need not protect the glide slope equipment because glide slope operates in a completely different frequency band, the UHF. Localizer operates in the VHF band, and so does this FM station, and therefore it is very vital or important to protect them from each other's interference. So this successfully concludes the lecture. I hope you have understood all the 10 questions in this lecture. Do let me know your feedback in the comment box. Also let me know if you want me to make any specific video lecture on any specific topic that you find difficult. I request you all to share this channel with your friends, subscribe if you haven't yet, and press the like button if you have liked this video lecture. Thank you for your time. See you in the next video lecture in which we will solve the last 10 remaining questions from this chapter.